Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy Sunday to all of you. This is the season. I've read somewhere that it's actually really good when you hold the chestnuts in your hands. It's good for your health. I think it's good for your nervous system. We all need to have one of those at least. So guys, don't get it the wrong way. Before I was actually sitting down on the bench, this is our Sunday bench and our Sunday spot, there was a man who was kind of circulating here, walking around here, and he looked like a beat. Had the dark black hair, and he kind of looked like slightly like Rasputin, because Rasputin will be the person I will be bringing to you today, and it's such a complicated, loaded character that I will barely touch the surface of his life, because I came across an article and some prophecies that he made, and he was one of the most controversial characters in Russian history, the recent Russian history. So I decided to bring this to you, but before I do this, I just want to say, I want to start the video with a comment from my last Sunday video. Because of comments like this, because of your kindness, your support, I continue with those videos, and I actually continue with other videos on my YouTube channel, because they really keep me going. And many of you don't put the comments out, I understand, but you, for example, send me donations on Buy Me a Coffee or on my fundraiser or on PayPal, and you write the comments on those platforms that you can, and you appreciate your gratitude. So today, from me to you, my enormous gratitude. This comment is very special. It's about the video in which I was reading you some facts, articles about Lady of Kazan. So this is from Roman de Cesar, who says, "Thank you, Anya, for creating and sharing this video. Personally, I trust you and I trust what you have to say, because there has always been, and I believe will always be, the sound of truth in what you say. Listening to you speak in this video, I find a way to once again reconnect to goodness, holiness and virtue, something I seldom ever get the opportunity to do. Thank you for making this possible. Truly thank you for making this possible." Very beautiful comment. I am really humbled by perceiving my videos like this. However, deep inside of my heart, this is the intention, and you've brought something very important here, which is the sound of truth. I think many of us, many of you will resonate with what I'm about to say, that everything in the universe is frequency. Everything is a vibration, it's a frequency. Actually, it can be measured. So even if you see on the outside that things or people look certain way, not just the body language, which also can be put upon acting, so they can act very well, but there is a sound, and by the sound you can actually recognize the truth, the true intention, or the emotions that are behind the sound. So you paying attention to this means a lot, and I appreciate it very much. Now let's go to the topic of this video. Maybe I put a timestamp, 4 minutes. All right. Who was Rasputin? Many of you know, when you look at the pictures of Rasputin, a man with a long beard and black hair and a very piercing eyes and very hypnotizing eyes, kind of scary looking to many. I will read you a little bit from Wikipedia, because I think they didn't lie on this, as they lie on many things. Rasputin, Grigory Rasputin, was born in 1869 and he died in 1916. He was a Russian mystic and faith healer. He is best known for having befriended the imperial family of Nicholas II, the last emperor of Russia, through whom he gained considerable influence in the final years of the Russian Empire. Rasputin was born to a family of peasants in the Siberian village of Pokrovskoye present day is called Yarkovsky district in Tyumen, I think that's how you say, Tyumen Oblast. He had a religious conversion experience after embarking on a pilgrimage to a monastery in 1897 and has been described as a monk or wanderer or pilgrim, though he had no official position in the Russian Orthodox Church. In 1903, or in the winter of 1903-1905, he traveled to St. Petersburg and captivated a number of religious and social leaders, eventually becoming a prominent figure in Russian society. In November 1905, Rasputin met Nicholas II and his empress, consort Alexandra Fyodorovna. In late 1906, Rasputin began acting as a faith healer for Nicholas and Alexandra's only son, Alexei Nikolaevich, who suffered from hemophilia. As you know, many of you know, the Romanovs family, they had 4 girls and 1 boy. I think boy was the youngest. Yes, I think he was, Alexei. He was a divisive figure at court, seen by some Russians as a mystic, visionary and prophet, and by others as a religious charlatan. The extent of Rasputin's power reached an all-time high in 1915 when Nicholas left St. Petersburg to oversee the Imperial Russian Army as it was engaged in the First World War. In his absence, Rasputin with Alexandra, the Empress, consolidated their influence across the Russian Empire. Historians often suggest that Rasputin's scandalous and sinister reputation helped discredit Tsarist government, thus precipitating the overthrow of the House of Romanov shortly after his assassinations. Accounts of his life and influence were often based on heresy and rumor. He remains a mysterious and captivating figure in popular culture. So there is so much about Rasputin, very controversial persona he was. I'm not gonna go through all those details because this would be a very long video. I appreciate the comments from many of you are interested in those topics, and I have many Russian viewers. You are very welcome to share your knowledge in the comments down below so we can scroll through them. But now let's go to the prophecies, and I will attach both this info and the link to the article that I found, the prophecies, not just about Russia but about the world, from Rasputin. In 1919, Grigory Efimovich Rasputin published the book Pius, I think that's how I say, Pius Reflections. In it, he published prophecies, some of which have come true, soon came true, while others have not happened yet. Which prophecies came to pass? Number 1, the shooting of the imperial family. It is said that Rasputin foresaw the death of the imperial family long before the shooting in the basement of the Ipatiev house in Yekaterinburg on the night of 16th, 17th of July 1918. Quoting now from this book, Rasputin's book, "Whenever I embrace the Tsar and the Tsaritsina, the girls, and the Tsarevich, I shudder with horror as if I embrace the dead. And then I pray for these people. I pray for the imperial family because the shadow of a long eclipse falls on them." I mean, imagine if you are that family, right? Romanovs. And you have someone around you who, okay, is a healer, but keeps on prophesizing this to you. You kind of creating this reality in a way, I'm just saying, you know, because if he told them this before that took place, then it went deeply into their subconscious mind. I mean, I know some of you are like, what is she talking about? But I know many of you know what I'm talking about. Second prophecy, October Revolution of 1917. Rasputin predicted the arrival of new power in Russia and mountains of corpse, among which would be bodies of the Grand Dukes, and the water in Niva River, will be stained with their blood. He said, darkness will descend on Petersburg. When its name is changed, then the empire will end. And you know, the name has been changed to Petrograd, and then Leningrad, right? It was Leningrad. Stalingrad? Leningrad, yes. How many times that city has changed the names? Third prophecy, his own death. Rasputin also foresaw the circumstances of his own death. He wrote, if I am killed by simple robbers of the Russian peasants, he said, Tsar Nicholas should not fear for his fate, and the descendants of the Romanovs will reign 100 years and more. However, Rasputin further added, if the murder is committed by nobles, relatives of the Tsar, then the future of Russia and the imperial family will be terrible. The nobles will flee the country and the relatives of the Tsar will not be alive in 2 years. Brothers will rise up against brothers and will kill each other. And Rasputin was murdered by a group of nobles on December 30th of 1916. So now we have the prophecies that have not yet came to pass. Well, to some extent. This article was published in, I think, 2000, was it 2001? I have to double check, but you will have the link down below in the description box. So what is coming, or what came to some extent? Global catastrophes. Rasputin predicted various troubles and catastrophes. As in the cases with other soothsayers, his prophecies are very vague. They do not contain any specific dates. But if you interpret them from the point of view of the modern knowledge, then it becomes truly spine-chilling from the accuracy of his predictions. Rasputin predicted more frequent earthquakes, rising sea levels. Now, quoting him, earthquakes will become more frequent, lands and waters will open, and their damage will engulf people. The seas, like thieves, will enter cities into houses, and the lands will be drenched with salt. On that note, just very recent news, we have a flood in one region of Poland, actually, just took place yesterday. So, the second one, loss of moral values. Now, quoting Rasputin, when times draw near to the abyss, men's love for men will turn into a dry plant. Let me see, I think I have more, yes. I just put in the wrong page. Third prophecy, development of genetic engineering from Rasputin. Monsters will be born that will not be humans or animals. Irresponsible human alchemy, in the end, will turn ants into huge monsters that will destroy homes and entire countries. So from this article, the author of this article says, for example, let us recall the world's most popular sheep Dolly. On July 5th, 1996, it was the first cloned mammal born. The animal was produced from frozen genetic material from an already deceased donor. Dolly became a complete copy of her prototype and lived for almost 7 years. She gave birth to 6 lambs. So I think, if I am remembering correctly, when I was in Edinburgh in Scotland, and I love Scotland by the way, I'm actually planning to visit Scotland maybe before I go back to Russia, because you know Europe is sinking. Scotland will very much separate from the UK, and you will need the digital verification now to enter many countries. So before all of this happens, I might go to Scotland maybe in the next few months. But when I was there in Edinburgh about 4 years ago, I think 3 years ago, I went to, I think it's a museum of science, I believe, and there was Dolly. I think there was Dolly, the original, I mean the the clone. It was there. So those of you who are from Scotland, from Edinburgh, please put in the comments, or we can all Google it, right? And the article says, nowadays rumors about the cloning are circulating. Those are not rumors. There's a lot of videos and a lot of articles and publications about how people are being cloned. Many celebrities have their clones. Many public figures actually have clones. So it's not nothing. This is nothing like a conspiracy theory. This actually exists. And as I was coming across those informations, it's about literal factories of clones, which is scary, but that's why they are after your DNA so much, if you're wondering. And how they take your DNA, there are many ways. The fourth prophecy, which is the last one, is the third global conflict. In his prophecies, Rasputin mentions 3 world wars. 2 of them have already passed. 3 hungry snakes, this is Rasputin now, 3 hungry snakes will crawl along the roads of Europe, leaving behind ash and smoke. The time of peace will come, but the world will be written in blood. And then 2 fires go out. The 3rd fire will burn the ashes. So here I was actually wondering, because those 3 hungry snakes, this of course might represent the type of energy, this representation of energy of the leaders of certain countries. But then I was thinking maybe there are certain flags or, you know, the symbols of countries that have snakes in them. So those of you who are interested in doing a little bit more research, you might check it out. But that's all I have from this article. And about Rasputin, I know it's a very, very on the top of the surface, but yeah, you know, things are happening. And with every prophecy that we have on those Sunday videos, I want you to remember, like for example with Nostradamus, that I have not brought to you yet, a lot of things can be read or understood in many different ways. It's like art. When you look at it, you have many observers and they see different things. It's the interpretation of it, and there is always an accuracy if it's specific. But if the vision is not specific, then very often it's easy to be excuse me, misled by that vision. So what I'm trying to put together in the next coming weeks, it's a video about a topic that absolutely fascinates me, and that is about Tartaria. Some of you know what Tartaria was, some of you don't, and that's why I want to do the justice. I want to do a great video that will introduce this topic to you and give you as many details as I can in such a format of the video without showing you the pictures or showing you the articles, because it's the topic that is one of the most fascinating ones, and it's a true example of how we have been fooled and lied to about the real history for a very, very long time. And I live in the city that has so much of reminiscence of Tartaria, and many of you do, in Budapest, in Moscow, in Kazan. Those are the places that, and in the United States there are places too that represent what Tartaria was known for. What were the buildings, what was the architecture, what were the symbols. But I'm not going to talk about this now because many of you don't know what is really Tartaria. So this will be in the near future. With this being said, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hitting this like. It really means a lot. It helps the channel to grow and for more people to see the videos. Thank you for leaving the comments. I read them all. And for subscribing as well, I appreciate. And first and foremost, for your kindness, your love, your support through your energy or through all your donations. The links to other platforms, Locals and Patreon, or becoming member of this channel, you find down below this video. Instagram, mailing list, Buy Me a Coffee fundraiser, so many. And last but not least, if you haven't ordered the book that I collaborated on with Scott Ritter, Covering Ukraine, the Scott Ritter interviews through the eyes of Anya Kay, make sure to do so. If you don't want to wait, you can always order it in the ebook version. I am waiting for my own copy. I think I will receive 5 copies of the book for me, and when I do this, I will probably have one of those copies signed and then sent to one of you. So we might do kind of like an auction, or it will be like personal dedication. I think it's a good idea. So that's all for today. Lots of love, and remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. Bye everyone.